The following video outlines the changes with respect to the grassroots regional tournament for the 2014-2015 season. This video will show the grassroots regional tournament from the perspective of a local club director, from the perspective of a member, and from the perspective of the grassroots regional tournament commissioners, just so that you can get a full sort of 360 view of the grassroots regional from each of the different perspectives. We'll start with the club director. So I'm logged in as a local club director here. And what the local club directors will now see is this combined GRRT, GRNT section. And so that has results for both the regional and the national. You can click on forms. All the forms for the grassroots regional tournament are now organized here. As we develop different formats, we'll add them here. For the national, we created Excel and Word doc versions as it was appropriate, and I think in the next few weeks we'll do that for the regional tournament as well. So you can the local tournament director comes here to get the forms that they need for the regional. Then a local tournament director can schedule their regional or national. So the point when they know when they're going to conduct one, and this is only used by the clubs that are running one. If a club is not running a regional or a national or both, or they only need to schedule the ones that they are actually running themselves and responsible for. So you come in here and you can select the type, either the regional or the national. And then you can go ahead and select the date. I'm using last year's data, so I need to schedule it in the past. Obviously, for the upcoming season, you would schedule it in the future. So I'm going to just go ahead and select a date and the time. All the other information populates with the default information for the club. If the location or the address or any of that information needs to be updated, you can just go ahead and update that. If your regional is not played at the same place as the club meets on a weekly basis, then you can go ahead and change that. And then once I've done that, I go ahead and I've successfully scheduled it. It now shows up down here. If I need to come in and edit it, I can do that and change the information. If I need to delete it, I can do that here. If I realize that I need to cancel it for whatever reason. And then if I come back here, I can, since I've already scheduled a regional tournament, I can now schedule a national. You'll notice I no longer have the option of scheduling a regional. You can only schedule at most one regional and one national. So I could go ahead and if I wanted, I could schedule the national tournament as well. Once I've scheduled that, I'm going to log out here, and I'm going to come to this schedule section. And you'll notice in the schedule section, I can, as a member, anyone can access this. So now we're looking at things from a member perspective. Anyone can see this regional and national schedule, and I can filter the schedule by state, and I can also filter this schedule by looking for regional or national tournaments that I may want to attend. So in this case, if I select the regional, you'll see this is the regional tournament that I just scheduled. And so in this case, as soon as a club director creates a regional or a national by scheduling it, then members can see that regional is coming up and get the information, so that they have it in case they want to play in that tournament. So now if I go, and so that's sort of the scheduling piece of it. And now if I go back to and log in back as a club director, once again. So after my regional has been played, I can now enter the results of that regional online. So I would come in here to results, and I would click on the regional tournament. And then what happens is, depending on which region your club is in, it pulls the list of all the clubs in that region and just in that region. And it also includes the Travelers Club. Uh, and then by default, it selects your own club, because if you're running the regional, you're obviously going to have players from your own club playing in it. And so the idea here is that you're selecting each club. You figure out, you have your list of players who played in your regional. You get from that the list of clubs that participated in your regional, and you select those clubs from the list. So let's just pretend that I ran a regional with Club 43, Club 54, and Club 100. I select those clubs and continue. And then what happens is, this wouldn't show up by default. It's just because I've been messing around with this all day. But you would then be presented with a list of all the members in all the clubs that you selected on the previous screen. And you can then select exactly which players played in your regional. And you'll want the club director will want to enter every player, whether they played unofficially, whether they played officially, whether they were junior. You want to enter the results they want to enter the results for everyone here. So then you select which players actually played in the tournament, and then you continue, and then they'll get to a screen that looks very similar to the screen that they already used to enter the results for just their weekly 9-game tournaments, with some slight differences. Here they can check off whether a player played unofficially. They can check off whether someone played as a junior. Then they enter the normal information, the number of game points, games won, plus points, minus points. And then here's a place to indicate who got a 28 hand, who got a 29 hand, who got a Grand Slam by entering like a 1 or a 2, depending on how many of those different hands people got. And I'll go ahead and enter some results here just so that we have it. And I'll also enter some results just so that we have a few results to go off of here to show some of the other features. And let's see, math. And you just go down, enter the results. I'm gonna save these. I'm gonna go back actually. So if you miss a player or you forget somebody, you can just go back and you can add someone else. So I'll add a couple of people here, and then they'll show up here, and all of your previous results are still saved. So I'm going to go ahead and enter the results for 2 more people. I'm going to say that Heidi played unofficially, just to illustrate what that looks like. And so I'm going to go ahead and save those results. And then I'm going to mark the tournament done as a local club director. And at that point, what's nice is the local director can really just print this. They can go ahead and click print and print this off and send it to the regional commissioner instead of having to fill out fill out the paperwork. This has all the information that you would need in order to, verify the results and know who won what and who scored what, and all that type of stuff. So this should, like printing this off, should save the local directors the time of filling in the paperwork, and should hopefully save you time when it comes to coming in here and double checking and verifying the results that they've entered. So now, once the local tournament director has entered the results for this tournament, they can actually go straight to their club standings, and the club standings will be updated to reflect the fact that there are regional points, directly, without having to sort of wait for anything to become official. It says 48 here because I've actually played in 2 regional tournaments, just because I wanted to illustrate this in a second. So, obviously I can't earn 48 points, but because I was entered as playing officially twice, it shows up as that now. But I'll show you kind of as the regional commissioner how you can identify those problems and resolve those issues in a second. Once the results for a local regional have been entered, then members can also, anyone in the country can also see those results right away as well. So if I go to results, and I can now see the results of the regional, and it lists the overall regional. I'm in the Southwest Region 4, and so it shows that by default. But I can also click and see the results of any of the other regionals as well. And then within a regional, I can see, just the results for any of the local regionals that were played. So, for example, this is the one I just entered with these 8 players, and so I can see the results for just that particular local regional if I want to kind of check out those results as opposed to checking out the results of the entire regional. So now, what does this all look like in terms of a regional commissioner? So now I'm going to come back to the login section. I'm going to log in as the commissioner for region number 4, and so now as the grassroots regional commissioner, you'll notice that there's this new section over here under GRRT, and there are kind of 5 different things you can do as the regional commissioner. So the first thing is a schedule and results section. So this will show you every single regional in your region that has been scheduled, and it'll show you the current status. So in this case, both of the regionals that have been scheduled have also been completed, meaning the results have been entered by the local director. If the regional has been scheduled but not played yet, or has been scheduled and played but the results haven't been entered yet, the status will show up as incomplete here. And so you won't be able to do anything with the ones that are incomplete. And it sorts this list so that the ones that you can act on are listed at the top, and it'll show the ones that are incomplete below that, and then it'll show the ones that you've already gone in and approved below that. So this is sort of your working list of all the local regionals and kind of where they are in terms of status. So I can come in and click on any one of those, and then you see the results that the local tournament director entered, and you'll see any potential issues that come up, right? So in this case, you'll see right away that this person hasn't paid their dues. And so that's something that will need to be taken care of by the local director before this tournament can be posted. And so once you've got and you can try and post whenever, but once you've got an individual local regional uh, resolved and taken care of, and all the results look good, and you've received the information from them and double checked everything looks to be entered right, then you can just go ahead and post the tournament results. In this case, it's not going to work because this player hasn't paid their dues. But if they had paid their dues, then the tournament would just successfully post all the points from that particular club's regional would become official, and you don't have to wait for all the other clubs' regionals to be entered and be played in order to give official points to the other clubs, because it's just a cutoff of 24 or more. It doesn't really matter where people finish overall. Now, obviously, you need to wait for the overall results in order to do the money, but the points can be awarded right away. So this is where you kind of come in and manage the different individual club regionals and approve them. Then under official results, this is a list of everyone who played officially and across all the different clubs. So this is your overall standings and summary. And so this is what you'll use to see, who's won overall, how many people have earned points. You can use this to figure out the payouts. You can actually copy this information and paste it into Excel and manipulate it in order to figure out your payouts and who gets paid. It shows the club that each person is in. It shows which regional tournament they played, how many game points they're spread. If they played as a junior, they show up here. Anyone who played unofficially and was marked as playing unofficially will show up here. So you'll remember we recorded Heidi is playing unofficially when entering the results a few minutes ago. And so Heidi shows up as having played unofficially here. And then you can click on awards, and this will show everybody who has earned an award in the regional. So these are all the people who got 28 hands, 29 hands, and Grand Slams. So this will all show up here with a count of how many they received. So this is sort of a single place you can look to see all the awards across all the different local regionals. And then there's this potential problem section. Right now there's only one problem that it points out that we've identified. If there are other things that make sense to add here, and in general, if there's anything that you guys would like changed from a regional commissioner perspective, or added or improved, we can certainly do that. This will be the first time we're doing it, using this for the regional. We used it once for the national, and it seemed to work out pretty well. We worked out a number of the kinks with it. So, but I'm sure there's still room for improvement here. So in this case, under potential problems, the one thing it lists is anybody who has played more than once officially, and it's usually because the local directors, just forget to note that it's that someone played unofficially. So in this case, I was actually entered twice, just for the purposes of illustration, and so I played in both the regional for Club 43 and for the regional for Club 54. And in this hypothetical example, both club directors entered that I played officially, and so that's obviously not allowed. And so this potential problems highlights that, so that it's easy for you to find, which players have been entered into multiple regionals as as official. And so you just use this area over here in conjunction with the results that you receive in the mail. And then once you've worked through this entire list and gotten to the point where all of the local regionals are on this schedule and posted, then you're good to go. And then, obviously, it's up to you as to whether you sort of enforce the clubs to sort of enter the results themselves. You want to give them the option. It's kind of up to you as the commissioner. If a local club does not enter the results themselves and just mails you the information, for example, then you're going to need to log in as that club and enter the results. And so you would come here, you would look up, the particular club that that you want to log in as. You would search for that club, get the password, and then you would go and log in as that club, and you would fill in the results just like I showed at the beginning of this video, where you would log in as that club, you would go to the regional, you would schedule it, and then you would enter the results, and then you would log out as that local club, you would come back, log in here as the regional club, and then you could go ahead and prove those results. So you would essentially fill in the information for the club. If for some reason they didn't do it themselves and or didn't want to or couldn't or whatever. I think that's more or less how the regional tournament works. If there are any questions, definitely let me know. Thanks.